Okay, so let's commit these changes we just made. And then we can hit Command Enter and it will commit those for us. Alright, we've got those in there. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can import the snippets from the repository into Visual Studio Code. So you can see in the editor here we have a folder for snippets. We've got a few of them. The main one I want to use here is the JavaScript one. Okay, I'm going to hide the terminal by hitting Control backtick. And now basically I'm just going to select all of this and copy. Then I'm going to go up to the code menu, go to preferences and use your snippets. And then I'm going to type in JS and select JavaScript. And now I'm going to select all of this and paste. And I'm going to save it. And basically all of that, what that did is now when I type in some stuff within these files, when the JavaScript files, it's going to have access to the snippets that I've written. So the IntelliSense, let me just show you what it'll do. So first I want to actually make a new folder for JavaScript, and then I'm going to add a file called app.js, and this is going to bootstrap Angular, and I have a really nice trick for this. So basically all I have to type in is UI router and then tab, and I've got this basic Angular bootstrap. So it's going to be an app module, and then I'm injecting UI router as a dependency, and then there's a config function which we pass in the state provider object as a dependency here, and then we're going to define states on top of that state provider. So then it's a little trick here. We can add a new snippet by typing in new state. That allows us to get a new state, and for this one we're going to do movie, and then the URL is going to be movie. Yeah, I'm actually still working out how this is going to work at the end, but for now that'll work. And then this is going to be movie.html, and then right now I don't have a controller, so I'm actually going to leave that one off because we're just going to do templates right now. Okay, so then the next time I need a new state, it's going to be, this will be a nested state, movie.cast, and then we'll have this one at that template there, and we'll tab, we'll go to the next one, and again we don't need a controller, so this is just basic. Okay, and then new state, and then this one's going to be movie.description, and then the URL is going to be movie/description. Tab into the next one, and again we don't need a controller yet. Okay, and then one last state. Oop. Weird. Okay, didn't like whatever I just did. Let's start that again. Woo. New state, and then this one's going to be movie.trailer. And this would probably have an ID in the middle if we were going to have multiple movies, but just for this demo, like it would say /movie/ID/trailer, so that you could have multiple movies use these templates. But for right now, we're just going to do this like here, and then we don't need the controller, so we can get rid of that guy. Okay, now we have all of those in here. Now we need to make sure that we're connected to our index.html file. So we're going to add in another script tag here. And that's going to be js/app.js. And then we're going to add in this ng-app directive. We have to call the module. So now we're linking this up. We've got this here. Okay. And make sure we're nothing wrong here. Let's run node server.js and check out our local server again. Okay. And there shouldn't be much of... Oh, we do have a problem though. Because data binding is broken. Unexpected identifier. Line 8. Oh, we don't have a home controller yet. That's why that's broken. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code, app.js, and then we actually don't have that home view either. So let's delete this whole state. We didn't. That was just an example anyway from the snippet. So that's all we need. And now, hopefully, we're still running into an error here. What's going on? It's not liking the module. What is the error here? Okay. We haven't included in UI router yet, so maybe that's the problem. No, we did include UI router here. I think I'm going to pause this and figure this out, and then I will let you know what the answer is when I'm done. Okay, after a bunch of running around there, and I put an alert at the top of my app.js file to make sure it was loading, among a bunch of other things. That was okay, that was fine. And even when there was nothing in this file, I was getting that error. And I finally traced it back to this here. I was missing this closing script tag. So that was causing the error, and now you can see when we go into, like I've still added this, and it works when I go here, I'm still getting a working version of Angular. So that's good. So what we were trying to do is we're going to integrate this these views here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this div in here, which has the directive UI view, and that's going to tell UI router that this is where nested state information is going to go. So the way we have it set up now, this shouldn't make any change yet because there's nothing in that view. But if we go here to movie, now it doesn't like that. Let's see what our routes are again. Oh, right. Because what we need to do is we have a hash here. Yeah, and now you can see we're getting the movie poster, and showtimes. And then when we put in movie slash what was it, cast, and hit return, we are getting nothing. So the issue with that is that this is a nested view, so we can't just go straight to this URL and have it work, even though there is stuff in this movie.cast HTML file. We have that table in there, but what we need to do actually is all of this file, all of this stuff here, let's add a heading so we have the title of the movie. Legend of Tarzan. Okay, and now all of this stuff I'm going to wrap in another div with the UI view directive, and I'm going to paste it all in. Then tab it over. Okay, so now when I reload this, I'm still not getting anything. Let's make sure I didn't break this guy. So we're still getting stuff here, but when we go to movie/cast, we get nothing, and the movie/description, nothing. What was the other one? Trailer. Okay. Alright, so we got a little bit ahead of ourselves there. You can see here that we were going to movie/description and we weren't getting anything. But let's actually create some navigation links. Basically some tabs first. So I'm going to make some navigation here, navigation div, an unordered list, and I'm going to have 4 items in it, and then I'm going to have hyperlinks in them, and I'm using, this is UI router, it's a UI sref, and that's where we're going to insert the URLs. And I'm using Emmet here, which is a really nice tool. We'll actually use that syntax, basically like CSS like syntax, and then you can tab to expand all of it, which is great. So, okay, so the first link I'm going to have here is going to be to showtimes, like just the basic movie link. So I'm just going to have movie, and to show you how I'm picking movie, let me split this so you can look at the, and you can split with command \, and then I'm going to hide this with command B. Okay, so this is the app.js file where our states are defined. So this movie state here is, this is basically an sref is a state reference. So the UI router is going to go here, and since we have showtimes on this page, I'll write in showtimes, and then the next UI sref is going to be to the cast. Then I'll put that in there, and then I can put description, and then you can use Option Z to wrap text here, which is a nice little trick too. And then UISRF, the last one, is going to be for the trailer. So movie.trailer, and it's the state that you're going to reference, which means that you can change URLs without having to change all of your links, which is nice. Oh, trailer. Okay. Great. So then reload this. Oh, wrong link. So I'm going to go back to movie here, and now I've got these links. Except they are not doing anything. I still get, I'm just looking at this template here. And the reason for that is that I actually need to insert another another UI view directive here. So what I want to do actually is I'm going to wrap all of this. This is the content here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap all of it in another div. I'm going to tab it over one first and then cut it. And then I'm going to put in a div UI view. And then I'm going to paste all of that in there. Okay, and now when I reload this, I'm going to get here, and then when I click on cast, see, now I'm getting that replaced in the description, and then I'm getting all of that in there too. And then the trailer is filling in also. So that's pretty cool. I've definitely, there's a little bit of a problem here, and this is probably why it wasn't working before when it actually would have been, is there's another movie being put here, and that's not what we wanted. So that actually can be fixed over here. You see movie is a state, and then movie.cast indicates that cast is a child state of movie. It's nested within the movie state. So we actually don't need this extra movie here. We can just take off that and just go /cast /description /trailer and then save that. And then when we reload, we won't get anything here. And go back to movie. We have here and then cast, and you can see now it's just cast, description, trailer. And that was why that wasn't working before. So that's how you do that. And real quick, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit using tachyons. So what I want to do is I have this UI view directive, which is basically a container for all of those, and I can add some classes to it to style it. So what I want to do is I'm going to add some horizontal padding, and what that's going to do basically is scoot that in from the side a little bit, which makes it look better. And then I can take this stuff out of the index if I want, but that's looking pretty cool. This would be nice if this was horizontal, so I can actually take this nav here, and then I can add some classes to these LIs. Oh, I just want the weird, I want to just add classes there. So what I'm going to do is add a class of display inline block on not small screens. And then I'm going to insert that there, there, and there, and then on these links, I'm going to insert a class of no underline to get rid of the underlines there. And then that should take me, that looks much better. And then I actually would like there to be a little bit of padding between those, so I can add another class there, which is padding of 2. And that's going to add like a half-am padding. Yeah, so that's a nice little, except that one I want the left padding to be 0. So the first one I can just do padding left 0. And then oh, and actually I just want that small screens because it'll maybe look weird on the or just on big screens. That would look weird on small screens. So there we go. Now we got nice little tab design. And that's what you can do with Angular UI Router. In the next step I'll show you how you can add tests to keep track of these routes and make sure they're all behaving correctly. So until the next time.